So
Yeah.
go back and look at it in 4K 60. The other thing I'll just say is like it is a work in progress. So what you're seeing today, and I can tell you because we see build check-ins every week, and they make progress week after week. So between now and holiday, it's just going to get better and better. With that said, I thought it looked great. I thought it's
You serious?
What is up, guys? This is your boy Zilla, and welcome to today's episode as I'll be giving my official thoughts on the Xbox July showcase. But before we do that, let's just give a standing ovation to Xbox. Because they just had their most disappointing event in their entire history. Let's just take it from the top with Halo, which is said to be on a $500 million budget, which would put it up there with GTA levels of cash being thrown into this development, and it says it has 16 times the detail. And I don't know what you think when you hear that, but I expect to see something visually appealing, not freaking Minecraft clips in the background of a demo that looks so bad that freaking the pop-ins look like a hide and go seek mechanic that they added into the game. I mean, it's so bad to the point where the brute that was showing up that looks just like Shrek, I swear, actually has a name. This guy is getting more clout than Master Chief, than the demo, than anything that Halo has produced in the past 2 years. This game is a complete joke. It is so much of a joke that third-party games at their own conference look better than Halo Infinite, and it has a $500 million budget. And the game you're looking at right now is the campaign for Crossfire X, one of the actual good highlights of this showcase. The game looks phenomenal, looks kind of like a Call of Duty spinoff, but the fact is that this game, Halo Infinite, has been in production for 5 years, and this game that's probably been in production realistically for 2 years is outmatching it. Oh wait, it gets worse than that, because now Halo Infinite is not like getting outmatched by that, but it's getting outmatched by a free to play game.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Repeat, free to play. This game costs no money for you to download on your Xbox, and you can get better visuals and better gunplay than Halo freaking Infinite. What is going on over there at 343 to the point where you're getting outmatched by a game that costs no money? And the game you're looking at is Exomecha, one of the other highlights of this conference that frankly outshines Halo Infinite in every graphical category. And you know what you don't see in that game? Pop-in, guys. You don't see the pop-in. All you see is actually really good looking graphics, which is what we expect from a $500 million budgeted game. You know what? Microsoft has just made a whole new category for power. I'm not even gonna call them 12 teraflops. They're 12 terrible flops. Okay, I'm not seeing anything that's 12 tera. I'm just seeing the terrible flops. Okay, let me show you a real game that looks like it has 16 times the detail. That game looks like it has 16 times the detail, but this is what you get when you still try to support the Xbox VCR hardware 8 years later. And I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, oh well, this is running on assembly spec PC. I don't even, if that is even true, I don't even want to see Xbox One version of Halo Infinite, by God, because if this is on assembly spec PC and then there's the Xbox One version, they might as well just cancel it, bro. It is going to be a meme fest if we see that game on Xbox One. But then the fanboys are gonna say, but Zilla, there was other games there. Let's just talk about the other games. You didn't like Halo Infinite, but there are other games. There's a diverse lineup of games coming to the Xbox Series X and Game Pass. Oh really, now is there? Let's check this out, okay? So here we have Forza, which looked amazing as it usually does. I'm a Forza fan. A game comes out every 2 years and I usually buy it because it's the best racing game in the industry, and everything looked dandy and neat and all good until you realize this game is still in early development. How in the world is that happening? There's 2 years between each racing game that takes turns between Playground games and Turn 10, and yet how is there a Forza game in early development when the last one came out 2 years ago? Especially for Turn 10, because it was Playground games turn last time, and this time it's Turn 10 while Playground is obviously working on Fable. So that means that the last game Turn 10 made was 4 years ago, and Forza is still in early development. What is going on at these studios to the point where they can't even get out the games that they're making? Okay, you may say, well, Forza is in a especially particular situation. Let's head to some other games. Then we have State of Decay 3, which looked phenomenal in its trailer and concept until you really realize it's in pre-production. The game has not even started production yet. It is just coming out the concept phase and starting development. This is false advertising because the game could change at any moment from what we saw in the trailer. And do you really think that State of Decay 3 is gonna look like what that trailer looks like? Because I get Xbox fanboys saying, oh, this game is gonna look great once it comes out. And do we have to remember what we saw in State of Decay 2? And that this team is only what, about 150 so people, and we think it's gonna go from that to looking like this if the game is still in pre-production, like, guys. And the worst part is that the game was made 2 years ago. State of Decay 2 was made 2 years ago, and they still haven't started development on State of Decay 3. Like, what? But guys, it gets even worse. This conference got even worse than that, because presenting now the scissor reel of horrible games that Xbox showed off that should have never been shown at this conference, starting off the gunk, more like the junk. Then we got Grounded, Xbox's Honey I Shrunk the Kids game. And guys, here's how low of a level we are with Xbox at their own conference. Now keep in mind, this is at their own conference. Check it out.
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're ready for the smallest, we've got you covered.
Yes, guys, they literally are recommending other video games over their current games they have exclusive, guys. You know it. You think it wouldn't get lower than that, but it does get even lower than that, because next up we have Tell Me Why, a game, as you can see, is totally using the 12 teraflops of power in the Xbox Series X. It totally doesn't look like an Xbox 360 game. It totally doesn't look like a ripoff of Life is Strange, and it totally doesn't suck. I mean, guys, you think that this could not get any lower, but then we hit rock bottom, because this game, as Dusk Falls, is not even a game. It's literally a story book, I guess. Like, it's basically a storybook. There's no gameplay, you just point and click. It's gotten to the point where we're not even getting gameplay for the games, we're just getting pages. Oh my god, like, guys, oh my god, Xbox, please tell me why this game is at this conference that's supposed to showcase the Xbox Series X. All I'm seeing is 12 terrible flops every minute I look at this conference. Oh my goodness. And at this point, nothing can take this show any lower. So of course it's gonna pick up with Everwild. And Everwild looks amazing. You know, I'm a little annoyed that it, for the second year in a row, has showed no gameplay and showed just CGI trailers. Okay, you would think that's a little bit odd, right? Until you realize after the conference, they're literally still messing around with gameplay ideas.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
Xbox, are you serious, guys? Are you serious? All of your mainline games are still in early development or pre-production in special cases. This is absolutely just mind-blowing. Then you have Jack Black over here singing better than the game actually looks in Psychonauts 2. Like, this conference is a complete disaster on Xbox's part. and it's just produced nothing but memes. This conference is a huge meme in itself. 12 terrible flops worth. But here's the worst part. At their June event, they had more graphically demanding games than what was shown at the bottom half of their AAA mic drop moments conference. They literally sabotaged themselves when they could have showed all those games at that June conference that looked way more impressive than the games they showed today. So Xbox literally has shot themselves in the foot for 2 months in a row. Now they're talking about this August conference. I mean, how worse are we gonna get then? The only difference is we're gonna see the box. So it's just like this conference was just low upon low upon low, but then it actually got better. We saw S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, a game that I would actually play. Like, I would actually play S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. It looks fun. You can kind of tell the gameplay idea. I never got to play the first one, but at least it's an actual game and not just a slideshow. Then we got the medium, the one game that Xbox has kind of been touting this whole time. You know, you can play in 2 different dimensions at the same time, and it has to use the power of the Xbox Series X, all 12 teraflops worth. Which is weird because, you know, it seemed like Microsoft wanted compatibility with all platforms, yet this game you can only play on the Xbox Series X. It's like that developer has a better idea what they're doing than Xbox does themselves, and they're not even affiliated with Xbox. Then we had Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, which when I saw this, I actually got excited for once in my Xbox days. This game looked really good, and it's a game I'm probably gonna buy at launch. Shout out to Space Hulk Deathwing, their other game, because that game is absolutely amazing. If you see it for under $10, buy it because it is totally worth it. But then they showed out the Outer Worlds DLC, and then they showed off their new IP, Avowed, which looked absolutely amazing. I'm very excited for what this game holds, but still no gameplay. And even the bigger thing is that the Outer Worlds is a smaller version of Starfield. In this game, is being described as another Elder Scrolls. At this point, are we gonna realize that these guys are mini Bethesda at this point? Fallout New Vegas, this game that's copying Starfield, and now this other game that is directly copying the Elder Scrolls. You cannot tell me that this game is not copying the Elder Scrolls. They are even talking about, or a major leak came out, that they're gonna add mod support to the game. This is mini Bethesda at this point. And that's the only thing that a little bit disappoints me about this game, is that they're not taking their own direction. They're just copying what Bethesda does. So whatever, man. At least we're getting a new IP, even if it is mini Skyrim. So now, this is a little pet peeve of mine, right? And the fact that I've been waiting for a full year to finally see Elden Ring, and it was not at this conference. And a lot of the bigger Xbox channels that have insiders are saying they held games back, and it just frustrates me to no end, because I know they're ready to show off this game, and most likely they just held it back. And this is the problem with Xbox. They think they can go tit for tat with PlayStation when it comes to unveiling these games. And I'm just gonna put it simply like this: when Xbox tits with Everwild, PlayStation tats with Demon Souls. When Xbox tits with Fable, PlayStation tats with Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And when Xbox tits with Halo, PlayStation tats with The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man PS5, all coming in the same year. And at this point, it's not tit for tat, it's tit for battery and assault. And can we please talk about Microsoft not knowing which games are going to come to the Xbox One and which are going to go to the Series X? Because on the website of these various games, they were saying that they were coming to the Xbox One. Well, apparently Microsoft doesn't know that either, because now those same games on their websites have removed the Xbox One as the game that platform is going to. So Microsoft, is your game going to the Xbox One? Are you going to support backwards compatibility, or are you not going to support backwards compatibility? The world may never know. But guys, this has been the best Gojira in video game news. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I make a video. And I'm going to let Major Nelson, the head programmer at Microsoft, sum up my thoughts of this conference.
Saw that. I mean, this was amazing, the fact that you felt this, and the team at 343, you talked about them a moment ago. They take their Halo mission, to put it bluntly, they take their Halo mission very seriously.